we'll continue with the stanza 2 of the poetry Indian Weavers. As I have told you, the theme of the poetry is the poetess Sarojini Naidu wants to highlight the tradition and culture of Indian weavers, of Indian society, of India. And in this poetry, the poetess is comparing human's life journey to the different parts of the day, and she has used many symbols to denote the journey of man's life from birth to death. She has also used different colors to denote the different parts of man's life and to different parts of a day. Now we'll start the stanza number 2. The very first line, weavers weaving at fall of night. In the first stanza, we have read weavers were weaving at break of day. Break of day means early in the morning. Here, the symbol or the imagery example is used as fall of night. अब बेटा fall of night मतलब शाम हो रही है, सूरज ढल रहा है, अभी रात नहीं हुई है, अभी शाम का समय है, संध्या का समय है. When the sun sets, सूरज ढल रहा है, sun sets time जो होता है उसको बोलते हैं हम fall of night. In the simple language, evening time, dusk time, when it is not whole day, when it is not full night, it is the dusk of night, evening time, शाम का समय. So again, the poetess is saying weavers weaving at fall of night. Again, poetess is asking a question. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Again, poetess is interacting with the weavers. Poetess is asking a question from the Indian weavers, why they are weaving a garment so bright. Again, bright color, bright symbol. Bright here denotes light. Bright here shows energy. So, poetess is asking a question. Why the weavers? Why do you weave a garment? Garment मतलब कपड़ा. Bright मतलब चमकीला, रंग बिरंगा, बहुत चमकता हुआ. तो poetess weaver से पूछ रही है कि आप शाम के समय इतना bright कपड़ा क्यों बुन रहे हैं? Now again a question mark here. That means the poetess is asking a question. Now what the weavers reply? We'll read in the third line. Like the plumes of a peacock. Again a new word. Plumes means feathers. Plumes means feathers. Or feathers, soft feathers. The plumes of a peacock. मोर के पंख के जैसे. Purple and green. Again the poetess has used colors to denote the life. So bright colors. पर्पल एंड ग्रीन, मोर के पंख के जैसे नरम और मोर के पंख के जैसे चमकीले रंग का कपड़ा वीवर्स बुन रहे हैं. और वीवर्स, why do you weave a garment so bright? The poet is asking the weavers. Weavers are replying, like the plumes of a peacock, मोर के पंखों के जैसा पर्पल एंड ग्रीन रंगों वाला कपड़ा, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. Now, marriage, आपको पता है शादी, veils. Veil is a cloth used by the bride to cover the head or the face. It is a part of a bridal dress. At the time of marriage, brides used to cover the face or the head with a cloth, and that is known as veil. पर्दा. Veil मतलब घूंघट, veil मतलब पर्दा. So weavers are saying कि we are weaving the marriage veils of a queen. हम bride के घूंघट का कपड़ा तैयार कर रहे हैं और वो कपड़ा किस कलर का है? Purple and green. Now again, this stanza denotes the adulthood of human life. In the first stanza, the birth stage of human was denoted in the morning time. The comparison was done. The morning time and the birth stage of human. The starting phase of a day, the starting phase of human journey. Now this is the evening time, fall of night. This is the marriage time. This stanza, this stage denote the adulthood phase of a human. Now purple and green. Now green color here symbolizes success. Green color here symbolizes symbolizes happiness. Purple color here symbolizes struggle. So here adulthood is filled with struggles, ups and downs. That is why knowingly poetess has used colors like green and purple to denote the happiness and sorrow of adulthood. Adulthood is not free from the struggles. Adulthood, youth is not easy. It is full of struggles, ups and downs, happiness and sorrow. The same feeling is denoted by the use of symbols, colors like purple and green. Now here, this stanza denotes the adulthood part of the human's life. How human life, adulthood part is full of energy, full of enthusiasm, success, happiness, sorrow, multicolored. Purple and green colors are used to denote the multi-emotions of human's life, of adulthood phase of human life. Now, this stanza denotes the evening time. In Indian culture, all the marriages take place in the evening time. That is why the symbol, the imagery fall of night, evening time is taken to denote the adulthood time of the human and to compare it with the evening time of the day. Now we do the poetic devices in this stanza. Alliteration. I have taught you how to find out the alliteration example. Again I am repeating. Alliteration means repetition of a consonant sound. Repetition of a consonant word. Now here, W of weavers and W of weaving. They are repeating. So this is an example of alliteration. Again, W of what? W of weave is repeating. So it is an example of alliteration. Now next poetic device, simile. Now simile, as I told you, it is a direct comparison of two things. Beautiful like rose. So where the word like and as are used to do the comparison, this is known as simile. We find out the simile example here. Like the plumes of a peacock. So now this is an example of simile in which the plumes, the feathers of peacock are compared with the cloth weavers are weaving. Weavers are comparing the softness and the colorful cloth with the feathers of peacock. So this is an example of simile. Third poetic device is imagery. I have told you imagery means images, use of images. So poetess has again used fall of night image to denote the phase of life of an adult, of an human. The evening time, that means adulthood. So this is imagery. Alliteration, simile, imagery are the poetic devices used in stanza 2. Now we'll continue with the stanza 3rd of the poetry Indian Weavers. In the earlier two paragraphs, we have studied the birth and the marriage stage of the human life. The birth stage and the adulthood stage in which marriage is depicted in the poetry, which is showing the multi-emotions in the poetry. In the stanza 3, we will continue with the theme, weavers weaving solemn and still. Now, new word solemn. Solemn means silent. Solemn means shant, dukhi. Now still बिल्कुल चुपचाप. जो वीवर्स मॉर्निंग में बड़ा खुश होके ब्लू कलर का कपड़ा बुन रहे थे, अगेन शाम के टाइम पे जो वीवर्स कलरफुल कपड़े बुन रहे थे, अब रात के टाइम वो लोग शांत क्यों हैं, चुपचाप क्यों हैं, उदास क्यों हैं, और वो उदास होते हुए भी कपड़ा बुन रहे हैं. तो poetess is not able to understand why weavers are silent, why weavers are sad. Then the poetess asked, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Just pay attention, students. In the earlier two paragraphs, this word was why. The poetess was asking why the weavers were weaving the cloth. In this stanza, at this time, the poetess is unable to understand what the weavers are weaving. She is not able to get कि what they are doing. तो she asked, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Chill here means cold. कि इतनी रात में, इतनी ठंड में, चांद की रोशनी में वो क्या कर रहे हैं? वो ये नहीं पूछ रही कि आप क्यों कर रहे हैं, वो ये पूछ रही है कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप क्या बुन रहे हैं इतनी रात में. Now what do you weave in the moonlight chill? This is the format of question. Now again, the weavers reply, white as a feather and white as a cloud. Now white color symbol is used to denote without color. Now white is a symbol of peace. White is a symbol of silence. So here the weavers are replying they are weaving something which is white as a feather. Pigeon, कबूतर के feather के जैसा सफेद, बादल के जैसा सफेद, एकदम सफेद कपड़ा वो बुन रहे हैं. क्यों बुन रहे हैं? We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Funeral means death. जब कोई मर जाता है उसके burying process को, उसके end process को, the rituals which are done at the death of a human are known as funeral. Now shroud, a new word. Shroud means the white cloth used to cover the dead body, जिसे हिंदी में हम लोग कहते हैं कफन. तो the weavers are saying कि they are weaving the shroud or the kafan of a dead body. The mood is silent, the mood is sad. Weavers are silent, weavers are sad. Now here the poetess is again comparing the night part with the last part of the human's life. Last part denotes death. So the life which was started with the birth ends with the death. Same way, comparingly, the day which started with the morning ends with the night. So the comparison is done. Now again the color symbolism is used. Here white color is used. White color is a symbol of peace. White color is a symbol of silence. White color is a symbol of emotionless, lifeless. That is why knowingly poetess has used this white color to denote the lifeless thing, to denote the emotionless thing. In this again the conversational tone is used by the poetess. The poetess has asked one question, what do you weave in the chilled moonlight? The weavers have given the answer, they are weaving the shroud, kafan of a dead man. Again the comparison is done. The three stages has been depicted by the poetess very nicely. The comparison has done by the poetess very nicely. The three parts of the day has been compared to the three stages of human life. The first stage, morning, the first part of the day is compared with the first stage of human life, birth. The second part of the day, evening part, is compared with the second stage of human life, that is adulthood, that is youth. The last part of the day, night, is compared with the last stage of the human's life, that is death. Now in the last stanza, poetess is concluding the theme, the mood, the life, the journey of life which was started with the birth, with the joy, with the happiness, has ended with the death, with the sad mood, with the silent mood, with the white color. Now we'll do the poetic devices of this poetry, of the last stanza of the poetry. Alliteration, I have told you in the first stanza and in the second stanza. Again in the third stanza, we'll find some more examples of alliteration. W of weavers, W of weaving, again alliteration example. S of solemn, S of still, again an alliteration example. Then again, W of what? W of weave, again the alliteration example. Now second poetic device, simile. Simile, as I have told you, the direct comparison is done with the help of word like and as. Here feather and white as a cloud. These are the examples of simile used in the third stanza of the poetry. You can find more examples of the poetic devices I have taught you throughout the poetry. There are more examples of alliteration, repetition, simile and symbols and imagery, and you can note down the examples accordingly in your notebooks. After the explanation of the poetry Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu, now I am here giving you some key points, some important points about the poetry that will help you to write the appreciation, theme and summary of the poetry. You can note it down in your registers to write the theme and summary or the appreciation asked in the question paper from you. Now the first key point, Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu sums up the life of human beings in three main stages by using symbols like clocks and times of a day. As I have explained you, the human's life journey has been divided in three parts: birth, marriage and death. The same way it is compared to the parts of day: morning, evening and night. Both are compared in this poetry to depict the changes in the human life. The life which is started with the birth ends with death. The life which starts with the happiness and joy ends with the sadness and the dull mood, the sad mood. The second point, the journey of life begins with one color, blue color. Blue color denotes happiness, blue color denotes energy, which means joy and happiness. Now here, blue color is used in the first stanza at the time of birth of newborn baby. The cloth used to wrap the newborn baby is blue colored cloth. Weavers were weaving blue colored cloth, and why they have chosen only the blue color? Because blue color symbolizes joy. Blue color symbolizes happiness. Blue color symbolizes something which is precious. Blue color symbolizes loyalty. That is why the usage of blue color here symbolizes joy and happiness in the stanza 1. Now, coming to the next point, the poetry continues with the addition of number of colors. Now, in the stanza 2, you have read the poetess has used multicolors to denote the multi-emotions in the adulthood time, in the young age of a human. Green and purple. Now, green color symbolizes happiness. Purple color symbolizes sorrow. They are used to tell you that the adulthood stage, the young stage, is full of ups and downs. There is not only happiness, there are struggles also. There are sorrows also. To denote happiness and sorrows, the poetess has used multicolor to show the multi-emotions. Coming to the fourth, the last stanza, continuing with the fourth point, life is more active in this stage than in the first stage. This stage is the young stage only. Young stage, adulthood is more active than the childhood. Now coming to the last stanza, the last point, in the final stage, the last part of the day, that is the night part, and the last stage of the human's life is the death time. Now in the final stage, all the colors vanish away. The poetess has used many colors in the last part of the life. In the last stanza, all the colors vanish away and a single color, white, remains. Now white symbolizes lifeless and emotionless. No color. White symbolizes silence. White symbolizes peace. End. Khatam. No movement. And that is why the death is symbolized by the white color. Now these are the key points you can note down in your register, and if you have any doubts regarding this poetry, regarding the poetic devices, we'll discuss that in the doubt sessions. Thank you.